What's going on, y'all, and welcome on in. This is the second part of the video for this crazy patch. I could probably make 3 or more videos for this, but we're trying to consolidate all of it. This one, let's specifically cover Peacemaker Furious ML4, 4-star Furious, as well as Bihoo, the newest 5-star to be introduced. Let's cover both of them. I want to start with Furious. I'm a little bit more excited for him, so let's go ahead and get our first impressions of both. But thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Make sure y'all also catch the other entire content patch summary before or after you watch this, okay? We talk about DDR buffs, all that stuff. All right, here we go. Look at that skill 3, man. Black hole, just gravity. All right, so I said in the other video, guys, what do y'all think about his look? He definitely looks so much different. He did lose his eye. They're actually going to give us some intel on that. So let's turn up the volume here a little bit and watch the lore together.
Furious plans to expand his territory
As GM
to weather
says.
the fall of Cydonia. In the process, he declares war against Perland for control of the Aachen exile colony.
Okay.
He manages to defeat Pavel's stepfather, but loses an eye and his beloved wife.
Are they implying
After the dust
Pavel's the
settles,
one that
he
shoots
looks
him in the
back
eye?
on the devastation
Wow.
that war brought upon his family
Lost his wife
and the city
too,
of
huh?
Aachen, and grows deeply disillusioned with war. Since then, he's been avoiding armed conflict and instead
That's why
pursuing
they call him the
diplomatic
Peacemaker.
solutions.
Okay.
However, as Lilius takes hold of Perland and the dark clouds of war
Also, do y'all
begin
say
filling
Pavel
the
or
skies of
Pavel? I've always said
Cydonia,
Pavel.
Furious loses his grip on power in Aachen,
Okay, okay.
and Warhawks begin to cry out for violence. He tries his best to avoid war, but when that fails, he has to
Sometimes,
prepare for
guys,
the
you just
worst
get
case
pulled
scenario.
in, right? You got to do what you got to do. Here's his voice actor? Okay.
성우 오인성이다. 안녕하세요, 성우 오인성입니다.
Nice to meet you too.
처음에 퓨리어스를 봤을 때 제가 가지고 있는 가장 좋은 소리로 해야겠구나.
I hope so, man. You got to use your best voice.
좀
Right, that's the
진중하고
job.
무게감 있게 그런 부분에 좀 신경을 써서
Series even, yeah, makes sense for his
그동안
backstory.
많이들 퓨리어스를 기다린 줄 안다. 기다려줘서 고맙고 이제야 비로소 나타났으니 많은 사랑 관심 부탁드려요. 퓨리어스 화이팅.
Sounds good.
안돼.
I like it. Normally, though, I'm on English or Japanese, if
Peacemaker
anything.
Furious is a 4-star dark elemental
All right.
creature. He has high critical.
Okay, let's
hit
go ahead and
chance.
pause, guys, and take it at our own pace now that we watched a little quick intro. I like the aesthetic. Guys, husbando characters, male characters, never my cup of tea, right? I'll use them. I'm not a waifu-only player, but I actually do like his aesthetic, the sort of backstory, more so than a lot of other Rangers, in my opinion. All right, so let's see here, guys. He is a Dark Ranger, obviously, has a lot of crit chance built in. And his imprint concentration will also provide crit chance, which could be important. Imprint release is effectiveness. Okay, let's go and look at his skills, guys. Peacemaker Furious, set in motion skill 2, speed for all allies, and grants Fury to the caster for 3 turns, and gets an extra turn, just like his blue counterpart. Fury will increase defense and effect resist by 30%. Very nice, and cannot be dispelled. Okay, those are some huge stat boosts, especially the defense, right? So let's take a look here. He's a focus unit, which sometimes are kind of difficult. They have a lot of hard counters like Solitaria. Sometimes, like we were talking about DDR, right? Death Dealer Ray. Other focus units sometimes they're just too slow in such a fast, aggressive kind of meta. But I do think he has potential. Let's take a look here at the animation of the skill 2 set in motion.
Return. Fury increases defense.
So he
and
gets that
effect
Fury.
resistance by 30%.
All right, same animation,
Cannot be
obviously.
dispelled.
Cannot be dispelled, yeah.
Skill 3.
Okay,
Black
Peacemaker Furious, Black Hole Cannon. This is where he needs 5 focus for. So the skill 2 gives him 3 focus. Let's keep track of how he gets his focus. So we can't use this off the bat. We have to get 5 total. And we do that black hole that we saw the little animation. We'll watch it again. But we decrease combat radius by 30. And when the caster defense is greater than the target's defense. So think of like, kind of like Strays' attack differential scaling. He'll have one for defense. And I believe he's the first one with defense differential. Penetrates the target's defense with pen rate increasing proportional to the difference. Yeah, up to a maximum of 60% penetration. Damage dealt increases proportional to caster's defense. Removes tensile. So remember, his buff that he gets on the skill 2 will give him extra defense. His stats of defense base are a little bit low. One being a 4-star, maybe his star sign is just not amazing for defense. But the fact that he gets so much from that, the buff he gives himself, Fury, right? I believe that's what it's called. Think of it like Vigor buff. It can't be dispelled. But this will also remove 10 souls from the enemy too, and then just a ton of damage. All right, let's look at the animation here. I think this thing looks pretty sick. All right, here we go. Show us, Mr. Furious.
proportional to the
Peacemaker
defense,
Furious.
Up to a maximum of 60%. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's defense.
Damn, dude. This makes a
Removes
giant
10 souls
black
from the
hole.
enemy.
Okay. Removes 10 souls as well. So I think they're maybe thinking maybe sort of like an anti-aggressive, anti-cleave units or comps that teams that want to use a lot of souls, typically either bringing them through books, Unseen Observer, things like that, right? He'll also lower some souls in that regard as well. And here's the skill 1. Here's how we're going to hit the rest of the focus, guys. So we start with 3 on the skill 2. Corner them gives him 1 focus. It's just an attack that increases combat by 15%. And when it's used on his turn only, is the only way you can proc the extra 40% chance to get 2 focus, right? Because it's just a extra attack of the same skill, meaning you get 2 focus. So you can run counter set, guys, to get a focus, but you can't ever get 2 from a counter. You can't proc the additional part, and this also has defense scaling, obviously. Now, if you bring 10 souls as well, you can make sure he gets his black hole ability. The skill 3, I should use the right term for it, but the skill 3, the big nuke, all the time, because skill 2 gives us 3 extra turn. We soul burn, guarantee get the extra focus. Otherwise, there's going to be an RNG element whether or not you get the full Monty, the full boost, the full 5 focus to use that skill 3. You know, within, what is that? Within the second turn, technically. 3 turns, technically, but he takes 2 turns in 1, right? Because of the skill 2. So, kind of interesting kit. Defense scaling, I'm always a big fan of. And then I think there's so much potential to play around with in terms of counter set. Are we going to run Guiding Light? I think they have him on in the video, Guiding Light. There's that Sword of Judgment, guys, which is an artifact I've always been saying if there's ever a ranger that can make use of it. Maybe this is one. It's like a Dust Devil for rangers. An extra 30%, I believe, at max. Something like that to get an extra attack. So maybe for redundancy, if we're not soul burning, we have a 40% tacked onto it, another 30%. We don't add those together, obviously, but that is, you know, increasing the chance of getting that double focus that we want. To make sure we can follow up in the next turn with the big skill 3 nuke. So overall, I love it. I like the idea behind his kit, and I'm excited. I think I will be pulling for him. Now remember, guys, it's hard to get ML4s if you try to get them through Mystics, as you spend a lot, pretty much I think like almost the same amount, or not the same amount, but very close to the same amount as a 5-star that you could be getting guaranteed. So be careful on trying to pull for him, at least through Mystic Pity. But yeah, he looks amazing. I can't wait to try him out. I'm excited for ML Furious. I didn't think I'd be excited for him. All right, next up, guys, let's quickly go through Bihoo. All right, next up, guys, the Bihoo preview. Let's check him out.
Huddled masses. It's time to rise up. May this hidden
All right, voice sounds good. Now, obviously, guys, if you were gonna get one of the Fox characters, I would have preferred
You're afraid. You can surrender.
some of the waifus that they were previewing. But hey, you know,
Bihoo was originally one of the great spirits.
for all my viewers out there that want the male characters, well, we get a lot of them coming in.
Unlike Yulha, he spent time enjoying his freedom.
How's the volume,
satisfying
guys?
his
Let's turn it up a little bit.
curiosity. Then, he was turned into one of the great
Those are
witches
cute.
by a Helldod. And under a Helldod's command, he was placed on the front lines during the
Okay,
Great
so he's
War.
pretty serious, like a.
When the war ended, he felt intense remorse for the part he played in the conflicts.
Oh, okay.
He receded
Adelhad
to
was
the
like
Wicked
the
Land,
evil
where
god,
vowed
wasn't
to
he?
defend the seal as a form of penance. After the long-running animosities between the races
Dang,
of
Para looks good
Madelon
there.
finally dissipated,
There's Ari in the
all the
background.
Wicked, including Yulha, began working together to rebuild the Wicked Land.
If I am to protect everyone, I'll have to give it my all.
네, 안녕하세요. 네, 저는 이번에 에픽7에서 비후
연용식.
역할을 맡게 된 성우 윤용식이라고 합니다. 처음 봤을 때
Guys, when I first saw him, he looked very beautiful. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really see him in the story too much, so when I was looking at all the characters, I did think he was also, you know, he's a good-looking guy. I actually didn't think he was just a guy. I thought he might have been, you know, a wife at the start, but now I know, right? Hey, live and you learn.
외형적으로 아름답고 또
Nothing wrong with that.
뭔가 온화하고
He's gentle,
여유가
relaxed,
느껴지는
and
기품이
graceful. He
있는
sure
외모를
is. He
가지고
sure
있는데
is.
반면에 굉장히 강한 힘과
Yeah, he's got a
그것으로서
tragic backstory, just
뭔가
like ML Furious.
어떤 일에 대해서 강단 있는 성격을 갖고 있는 그런 캐릭터로
I like the backstories they gave these two
느껴졌습니다.
characters.
일단 처음에 캐릭터 등장 인사로 이제 나오는 인사말인데 되도록이면 문제를 키우지 말고 좋게 해결하는 게 어때? 이 대사와 그리고 이제 궁극기 대사 중에 가려진 빛의 향연이 모두에게 깃들게
I like when they show the concept art for
이런
the skill
이제
3s. That looks
대사가
really cool.
이제 여러분들께 제일 많이 선보일 수 있는 대사인 것 같아서 이런 것들이 가장 기억에 남는 것 같습니다. 네,
Right.
계승자 여러분 이번에 비후 신규 출시되니까요. 꼭 비후 많이 뽑아주시고요.
We'll see. We'll use him if he's
뽑아서
good,
많이
right, guys?
써주시기 바랍니다.
Well, some of y'all are gonna pull him for his
비후
looks,
캐릭터로 만나
but
뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.
I'm only pulling if he's good. All right, let's check it out.
Bihoo is a 5-star.
All right, let's take over at our own pace. 5-star Elemental Ranger Fire type. All-rounder with a lot of effectiveness. Decent speed, I guess, 115. And imprint concentration of effectiveness and team imprint of attack. Okay. So Fire Ranger, right? With effectiveness. So he's going to want to do debuffs, I'm assuming. Skill 3, Feast of Radiance. He gets unbuffable for 2 turns. Along with dispelling 2 buffs from all enemies. Man, everyone just dispels so many buffs nowadays. Before increasing combat radius of the caster by 50%. 50% CR is huge. And then increase combat radius of all allies except for the caster by 20%. Okay, so skill 3 dispels. This is not a damage. This is interesting. A ranger with their big skill 3, it's all utility, right? Dispel, unbuffable, and combat readiness push for his whole team plus 50% for him. So like maybe a cleaver sort of role. We'll see the rest of his kit, guys. I didn't really look through it as much, if at all. But yeah, this is obviously nice CR, dispels, and then unbuffable. So pretty cool here. Oh, let's watch the animation real quick.
It's time to rise up.
All right, I didn't watch the full thing, but yeah, we saw it in the intro part. Flamekeeper, increases attack and defense by 20%. 30, I believe, right? Yeah, 30. At full mola, when attacking, cannot trigger a critical hit. Okay, so we don't need to worry about crit damage. Increases burn damage suffered by enemies by 30%. Oh, interesting. He has a passive now that just increases burn damage. So combined with maybe like Carrot. Who else, guys? Maybe a little bit of Flan, although Flan's mostly bombs, barely any burns. The skill does not affect with other passive skills at the same time. Okay, that's kind of cool, though. We get a burn unit now. I believe this is the first one that increases burn damage total, or burn damage suffered. And he's going to be very tanky with 30% defense. And the fact that we don't have to build crit as well, right? He's going to be mostly burn, so we want high attack. Means we can build him bulky as well. So maybe not a cleave unit. I think he might be a little bit too slow tempo for full-on cleave. But we could probably build him aggressive still. Scorching Flame attacks with the enemy with flames burning for 1 turn. When used on the caster's turn, has a 50% chance to use Incinerate instead of Scorching Flare. I guess that's kind of like Roy Mustang, right? A chance to do an increased skill 1. The few units have this, like, what's her name? Arunka. Things like that, right? Ilinov. But let's see here, guys. Incinerate attacks the enemy with explosion of flames and burns for 1 turn before detonating. So he does have a detonate. Inflicted on the target at the end of the turns. This skill cannot trigger dual attack. And then we can also soul burn for a guaranteed chance to use that incinerate. Very cool. So burn, and then a 50-50 chance of I'm assuming attacks enemy with explosion of flames burns for 1 turn, which already does. So it just adds a detonate. I don't think this adds extra damage, right? Maybe it does. We'll have to see. But it definitely detonates, so that's kind of nice. Kind of like Carrot skill 1. We'll have to see, guys. I do like his skill 2 passive and maybe combining with units like Carrot. See here, guys, they have her with, or him with Pirate Captain Flan for that increased burn damage, I guess, from her skill 3. I would like to use her with, like, him. I keep saying her. Sorry, guys. Him with Carrot. But yeah, overall, I think he can be cool. I think he's going to have some versatility. I don't know if he's going to be better than just, like, a lot of times you can only bring 1 unit of that type, right? Either a Captain Flan, either a Carrot or a Bihoo. But maybe if we can fit 2 of them, right, for that extra passive that he has, and the fact that we can build him tanky, he has utility with the strips, I kind of like it, guys. Maybe I will pull for Bihoo. I don't know how amazing he's going to be. As always, y'all probably sick of hearing this. We're going to need to see the scaling, the multipliers, blah, blah, blah. But both him and Furious, I kind of like their kits overall. Not mega excited for Bihoo, but the fact that he can be tanky, he has utility. I'm excited for these Rangers. Usually I'm not that excited for Rangers as they're usually a very specific archetype. But yeah, let me know what you guys think as always. And we'll have to wait. I'll pull for both of them and test them both out when they're officially released. But as for now, it's just first impression, just guesses. Let me know what y'all think. Thank you so much for tuning in. All of you guys. We have so much content to absorb. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.